Hi guys, this is Fernando once again back in my channel. I'm very excited about this video because this is my, uncovering, if that's a good choice of word, of my record haul in Spin Me Round at Spin Me Round store in Phillipsburg, New Jersey. I found about this store in their YouTube channel last year, and they upload a video every night. They're amazing. They have a great inventory, and I was so amazed by the stuff that they were showing every night that I decided to visit them just like a week ago, because I was so anxious to get into that store and cover each and every corner of it. It's a great store, so I'm gonna let you know what I've found, my finds. First, I'm gonna talk about my CDs. This CDs that I have right here is an upgrade that I'm doing. All the albums that I'm telling you about right now are upgrades. This is Till Tuesdays, everything's different now. This cassette has been part of my collection for a long time, but now I have it finally on CD. So everything that I'm showing you, I already had in my collection as a cassette, but now it's a CD. So I'm so happy that it's that way. The other one is Heart's Desire Walks On. This is the one that has Would You Be There in the Morning? Okay, and now we have Heart's Brigade. This is one of their most successful albums from the 80s and early 90s. This one has I Just Gonna Make Love to You and Stranded, among other hits. Then we have Jess Big Generator. I had it on cassette, now I have it on CD. It's a great upgrade. Everything here is an upgrade. So now the Donna Summer collection, I had it on cassette. It's one of some of her classics, or most of her classics, in this beautiful box set from a cassette. So it's a great upgrade. The Cults Electric. This is one of the one that I was most excited to find, because it's been a while that I've been looking for this on CD. So now I finally can get rid of the cassette and have it on CD. Okay, Rod Stewart's Camouflage. This is the one that has the cover of Todd Rundgren's Can We Still Be Friends? Also, it has Infatuation, the cover of the free classic All Right Now, and all guys have all the luck. So it's a great addition to my upgrade collection from cassette to CD. The other one is Mirror Moves by the Psychedelic Furs. This is one of my favorite records from them. I had it for a while in cassette, so now I have it on CD. I'm very excited about this find. The next one is a very interesting alternative band from the 90s. It's called The Sundays. It's their third album after Blind. They had this record, and I don't see this very often out in the wild, so I'm excited to have it. Avalon. This is the ultimate classic from the MTV Golden era, the one that has More Than This, and of course the title track, Avalon. Bryan Ferry, always a great addition to your music collection, solo or with the band. Extremes. This is their album. This is a very long record. It's a very hard rocking album. I love the cassette, but now I have it on CD. I'm making a pretty mess right here, but it's not a big of a deal. Okay, Everything But the Girl. This is the one that has Driving. Back in the 90s and the late 80s, they were original VH1 favorites. So I love this album. So now I'm glad that I had the upgrade to CD from a cassette. This is a very interesting album choice, because this is the one B-52's album that doesn't feature, that Cindy is not in the band. It's called Good Stuff. It's still a great album. I'm glad that I have it on CD, because I've been listening for the cassette for a long time. This is a very interesting color choice for a tape. Look at this. I'm not getting rid of this anytime soon, because this is so beautiful. I love it. Maybe, I can hang it from my neck with a cord or something. It will look nice. Don't you think? Okay, Cyndi Lauper's A Night to Remember. This is not one of her most successful albums, but it's a great one. It's the one who came after True Colors. It's the one that features My First Night Without You, and also I Drove All Night. I believe that Celine Dion did a cover of that song, but I don't care for that. Oh my God, Gravity is something that I've seen before, and it's happening right now. Okay, you want the best? You got the best. Kiss, Revenge. This is a very interesting record as well, because this is the one that has Unholy and Domino. Vinnie Vincent was a writing partner for some of the songs in this album. I'm so glad that I did the upgrade from cassette to CD. This is the Ultimate Diva, Stevie Nicks, with The Other Side of the Mirror. This album is the one who has Rooms on Fire. I'm so glad that I now own it on CD because the cassette is so worn out. So it came to the rescue. This CD from Spin Me Round store is the savior of the day. Duncan Sheik. This is one of the very interesting artists that it's from the early 90s, I think. The song is called Barely Breathing. I love this album, so I'm glad that I found it also on CD from a cassette. This is a great upgrade. I'm so excited about this one. Spin Me Around has the best CD selections anywhere. I'm so shocked by the quality of their inventory. I'm so glad to say that because I've been there. Okay, Vixen. The all-girl heavy metal 80s band. This is Rev It Up. This is their second album after their debut album. I'm sorry the cassette is a little bit faded from the sun because it was all the time in my car. So sun can do some damage to your album covers. But it doesn't matter. You know why? Because I have the CD right now. Okay, Carly Simon. How can you love Carly Simon? This is Film Noir. This is a collection of songs, conceptual record from the songs from the 50s, used in films, classic films. So she's very classy in this album. I love her. I love her in general. All her material is great. Okay, Susanna Hoffs' first solo album after the Bangles, When You're a Boy. This is a very risque record. It has also the cover of the David Bowie's classic. When You're a Boy is the name of the album, but Boys Keep Swinging is the original name of the song. Okay. So now I'm gonna do some special mentions about some CDs that I was excited to have. I didn't have this album previously. I just heard it from friends and stuff in Walkman back in the 80s. Bullet Boys. This is a heavy metal band. They were compared as the original Van Halen with David Lee Roth. This is a hard rocking record. I really highly recommend it. So it's a great find. I also found I have had this Prince collection, 3 CD collection, incomplete. But Spin Me Round had the second disc available for me to own. It's right here. Oh my God, it's alive. The second disc on this collection is right there. It was released by Warner Brothers separately, and Spin Me Round had it available for me to complete this whole box set of Prince classics. Also, Houston and the Dirty Rats. This is a punk ska band originated in New Jersey. This is one of their EPs. I love Houston and the Dirty Rats because they have recorded performances from Spin Me Around, so that's how I know about their music. Also, this is another one of their CD releases. It's available at Spin Me Around store. Also, Reality Bites is another independent band that is breaking all over the world. They have been invited to play several places this past month. So I'm very excited about this band. I understand that they have a new album. This is the first one. Also, another one that I didn't have on CD or a cassette or a vinyl. This is Kiss Unmasked. I found it at Spin Me Round at a very affordable price. This is after the one that came after Dynasty. This is a great song. Is That You is the one song that I love from that song. It's the opening track. Okay, as I'm talking about Kiss, I'm going to show you some stuff that I have in my personal collection. There are collectibles. I have the Kiss tin material, as you can see. Art. It's right there with the, the cover. Those are individually released albums from each member as a solo artist back in the 70s. It was great. It was very exciting. Then I have the Past collection with also the matching color from each solo album that they released back in the 70s. It's the Past collection. It's a very interesting and very cute addition to my collection of Kiss items. Okay, now we shall continue with more stuff. Okay, here's a picture of the owner of Spin Me Around store. I have it framed because it's a very happy and memorable moment. When I arrived, this was taken the first day I, visited the store. So I'm very glad that I had that moment, captured on camera. Okay, let's move on to the vinyl. This is one of my favorite songs from Ultravox. It's called Vienna, but this is the whole album. I found it at Spin Me Round. Okay, this is the 80s new wave experimental band. Also, we have the Aerogliders The Roughlighters is the it's like a one-hit wonder, I think. Their hit was Heaven. It was played on MTV in the early 80s. I love this band. I never seen the record out in the wild, so I'm glad I found it. I was in the dollar section. Go figure. Okay, Red Rockers, they the same thing. They had MTV hit called China. I never thought I could find their album, as a whole in any record store, so I'm glad that they have him. They had him there, Red Rockers, with their full album that includes China. Yes, this is the ultimate classic rock experimental band. This is the only record that doesn't have John Anderson as a lead singer. It's called Drama. It's my favorite record. Don't judge me. I don't know why, but this is all. Yes, albums are great, but this is my favorite one. It's a very trippy album cover, I might say. Yeah, and it's a gatefold. It's a gatefold. In the '70s, that's a big thing. They're just hanging out, doing their thing, having their moment. So it's Drama. This was released in 1981. It's a very interesting record. Okay, I was very excited to find this one as well. Jolene Turner's, I believe this is her first solo album. I saw Jolene Turner here in Puerto Rico. It was a rare moment. He did covers from Deep Purple because he has been the lead singer of Deep Purple, also Rainbow. He's having a great solo career as well. He also did a record with Yngwie Malmsteen. Quarterflash, I love this band. This was their third and last record, a studio album. No, there have been more records after this one, but covered by the MTV Golden Era. This was the last time they were seen on MTV. Walking on Ice is the name of the first single from this album, so it's great that I love. Okay, Todd Rundgren. I'm a big fan of Todd Rundgren, so these are records that are related to him in some way or another. Roy Powell, Air Pocket. This is the keyboardist of the band Utopia. So this is one of his solo albums. I'm so glad I found that in the Spin Me Round store. This is Price and Sultan. Kasim Sultan is part of Utopia as well. So this is a Todd Rundgren related record as well. I'm so glad I found it. Okay, Grand Funk. This is an album that I didn't know was produced by Todd Rundgren, but it was available on Spin Me Round. So I never listened to any of these tracks. So I'm gonna be, it will be a premiere for me when I play this record. As soon as I drop the needle on this album, I'm gonna be amazed. I'm sure about that. Okay, Grand Funk. We're an American band. This is one of their most successful albums. This was also produced by Todd Rundgren. The inside, art is very interesting because they're, I don't know what's happening in there, but it's very interesting to see them having a great time, letting it all hang out in the '70s. It's great. Okay, Rick Derringer. It's a very legendary musician. He has worked with Todd Rundgren as well. This album specifically was produced by him, so I'm so glad I finally found this record. Also another Todd Rundgren related album. This is, I've seen posts about this record. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know anything about this artist. I'm guilty of that. So, but I think I'm gonna be finding out soon enough when I play the record and I'll read a little bit more about his material. This album is also produced by Todd Rundgren. Okay, let's talk about Kiss again. This is the one and only album that I got from the store. Sealed, 180 gram, remastered. This is my favorite Kiss album. It's called The Elder. This is not, it's not, the biggest among fans, but it's a conceptual album. It was supposed to be a soundtrack for a film, but the film doesn't exist. It's a very different record for them. You should listen to it. Don't take my word for it. You just listen to the album on YouTube or wherever, and you won't be disappointed. Okay, this is a very interesting band called Long Justice. I love Maria McKee. She's well known because of the song Show Me Heaven from Days of Thunder. This is Long Justice. This is the first band that she had, I think. This is Shelter. This is the third album or second. They were big on MTV back in the day with the song Ways to Be Wicked. Okay, Joan Jett. I'm not ashamed to say that I never heard this album previously because the song was all over the radio and on MTV. So I got a little bit overexposed. I was more interested in her other material, like the album 1982 album, which the French song. This is I Love Rock and Roll. It was her most successful album ever. So I found it. So I'm glad that I have it finally. So I better take a listen to it soon enough. This is a very interesting record. This is the Power Station. This is a project from Duran Duran, the band from England, the pop synthesizer supergroup. Power Station with Robert Palmer on lead vocals. I have another record. This is from my personal collection that I have somewhere. It's called So Red the Rose. It's the album that has some members of Duran Duran as well. I will get to it, in a few minutes because I have a lot of stuff to show you. So I'm not gonna get so mixed up in everything. So this is Aqualung by Jethro Tull. This is a favorite among the band's fans, but I've never gave it a chance. I really love A Passion Play. This is another album from Jethro Tull that I really love. But this one, it was very well recommended, and I'm sure I'm gonna like it because it sure looks like a dark record. And darkness is my middle name. So I'm so glad that I found it. The Aqualung. Yes, another great album by the band. Yes, this one sure has John Anderson on lead vocals. It's Tornado. This one I have it on CD, but I wanted to get the vinyl. Okay, let's talk about a little bit about Julian Lennon. This is his first solo album, Ballad. I had it previously on cassette, and now I'm glad that I upgraded it to vinyl. Okay, the same thing goes to The Secret Valley of Daydreaming, which is the second album that he released. As a matter of fact, I'm glad that I found the cassette version of it, and now I'm doing an upgrade to vinyl. Not only am I doing upgrades to CDs, so I'm also doing upgrades to vinyl. This is great. This is a good thing. Okay, look at Ballad. See? This is the original cassette that it was released back in the day, and now I have it on vinyl. I love the Mr. Jordan. This is third release. This is from my personal collection. I would love to find this on CD sometime. I know that I can find all of these albums online, but the thrill of the hunt, there's nothing better in life. Okay, Pat Benatar's Get Nervous. This is one of my favorite Pat Benatar records, each and every one of them, like Precious Time or Tropical, and even Wet Awake in Dreamland is one of my favorites. But this one is very important for me because this was with the album I discovered her music back in the day on MTV. This is the one that has Get Nervous and Shadows of the Night. Okay, let's talk about fun time in the summer, the Go-Go's Vacation. This album I was so very excited to find it because I always had it in cassette. As a matter of fact, here it is. And, the cassette is so worn out that, this came to the rescue. This vinyl, I will do the same. I will burn the hell down this record because I love this album. Beauty and the Beast is the first album, but the second one is not bad. It's not bad at all. Not a lot of people are fond of Yoko Ono, but I really love her style. I love her dark sense of humor in music, and this is It's Alright. This I had on cassette from Polydor, and now I'm so glad I have it on vinyl. Okay, so much stuff, guys, right? Okay, and speaking about Yoko, I wanted to do a special mention about the Star Peace album. This is the album that I discovered her music with this album. This one has Hell in Paradise. It was a big MTV hit back in the day. Do you remember those sneak preview videos, exclusive videos? Well, that was one of them. Okay, this is Melissa Manchester's cassette. This is from my personal collection as well. It's called Mathematics. It's 80s comeback that she had with the song Energy. I found it in vinyl. Guess what? I'm very happy that I found it on vinyl because, this is the best way to listen to music. You have to agree. We all in the vinyl community, she'll know that. Okay, Genesis. This is a huge album for me. This is the first time that I heard, before, Invisible Touch album by Genesis with Phil Collins on lead vocals. I gave myself a chance to listen to some classic Genesis albums, and I didn't know what I was getting into. I discovered a whole new experience in music with this record. It's very psychedelic, very strange, very unique. This is a exciting and unique album. Every fan of Genesis know what I'm talking about. Okay, David Lee Roth, Sonrisa Salvaje. This is a very interesting album because this is the Spanish version. I found this in Spin Me Round. The Spanish version of the Eat 'Em and Smile album. Okay, this is the one that I had in my collection previously. But one of the nights in the Spin Me Round videos, I found out that this album existed. This was released in 1986. The name of the few songs, are very similar because they're the translation, they doesn't mean the same thing. Written down as they, converted the language from Spanish to English to Spanish, and the other way around. Okay, talking about Yes. This might look like one of their most successful albums, 90125, but this is not that album. This is the solos, a collection of the solos from the tour from that album. I have the original record of CD. It's right here. This one is from my personal collection. This is how the album cover really looks like. This is like an addition, a companion to this record. I didn't know that this existed. But I read a little bit about this album, so it's part of this concert release that they had on VHS and DVD. The tour for this album, it was very successful, so they decided to release a little bit of the most amazing solo tracks that they had. A lot of music experimentation, as they used to do all the time. Okay, so let's continue with more records. This is something that I wanted to show everybody. The Hello People. It's a band that they were big in the 70s. Todd Rundgren used to collaborate with them in their live shows, and they like to do mimes, and they painted their faces like that, and they did some social conscious music. So I'm glad to finally find this record. Let's see what else we have. Okay, we have more vinyl here. This is one of the things that I wanted to show everyone because it's some of my rare items. I'm taking a pause from the Spin Me Around store record haul. This is from my personal collection. It's the Melissa Manchester from the, you remember that I shown you Mathematics? This is the Energy 12-inch single that I had for a long time, and I have it right here for you to see. Also, I found the album by Sheena Easton, Do You, at Spin Me Round store. I had it on cassette. As a matter of fact, here it is. And now I did the upgrade to the vinyl. I also had the Do It For Love, which is the first single as a 12-inch in my personal collection for a long time, so I'm glad that I have the whole package. Okay, now, Jarmaine Stewart. It's a great artist. I never had this album, this most successful record ever, because it's the one that has we don't have to take our clothes off. But the song that really caught my eye, or my ear, I might say, it's Jody. It was written about Jody Wadley. I had for the longest time this single from Jody. This was released back in the day as a promotional product for the Frantic Romantic album. This is the one that I just showed you. The first release that I had from him, I know, I knew about his music by MTV, of course. The Word Is Out. The title track for this record has a music video that it was shown all the time on MTV back in the day. So I wanted to present this album to you since I finally got the Frantic Romantic. Okay, let's see what else. This is another great find at Spin Me Round. It's called Voice of the Beehive. This is an 80s alternative band. Let It Be. Bee as in the flying bees, not Let It Be, not to be confused with the Beatles track, an album. This is the one that has the song I Say Nothing and Don't Call Me Baby. This I wanted to find for the longest time, and I found it at Spin Me Round. I have one of their other releases somewhere in this table that I wanted to show it to you. So as soon as I find it, I'll get back to it and show it to you as well. Okay, so I also wanted to talk about the pins. They have memorabilia, music related stuff. They have a big selection of pins. Some of these pins I had already, but they gave me as a gift this interesting Tusk by Fleetwood Mac pin. Also, Missing Persons from Spring Session M. I found it and the section of the pins at the store. Devo, Are We Not Men? Who doesn't love Devo? The Motels, Little Robbers. This was another one gave to me as a gift by the owner. I'm so glad about that. Kingdom Come, another 80s rock band, hair band. Eurythmics, I bought this one from them. This is the Aqua. I'm sorry, this is one of the songs in the album. Touch is the name of the record. And Eric Clapton, this was another gift from the owner. I'm so glad that I've got this pin because this is my favorite Eric Clapton album. It's called Behind the Sun. Okay, let's continue with other stuff that I wanted to tell you about. The Todd Rundgren box set. This was part of the Record Store Day experience. Here in Puerto Rico, we don't have any Record Store Day participant stores, so I couldn't get a hold of this. So the first thing I got in my hands from the heavens above was this box set, thanks to the owner. So I'm very glad that I finally got my hands all over it. So this is one of my most exciting items ever. The Todd Rundgren single collection. This is a colored vinyl collection for record set. I have a video that is going to be uploading, or it's already uploaded. I don't know. I have to check my channel because it's been a mess. It's my comeback. This is my video after 2 years. Unboxing this beautiful box set. Also doing a tour of the store. Spin Me Round with the owner herself. So it's great. Okay, there are some other stuff that I wanted to show. The pin that I got from Fleetwood Mac that the owner gave me. This is the album cover of the original. This is from my personal collection. This is my this is not a common opinion. It's an uncommon opinion, but it's my favorite Fleetwood Mac album. I also got the remastered version of the CD. I have it right here. Of the Tusk album. It's a very beautiful, I got this when it was released at first, but it was incredible for me to find out that it even has a booklet. I'm not doing an unboxing from this. I just want to let you know that my favorite photo from the record album is not featured on this remastered edition CD box set. So it was very, disturbing for me in some way or another because, this is my favorite photo from the album and it's not part of this package. Fleetwood Mac related items that I also have, the remastered editions expanded. That's the name of the product that the product releases. Rumors. This is the Rumors really expanded edition. This it's more of the same, like different outtakes from the photo shoot from the band, making the album cover. Also, I have the Stevie Nicks Belladonna expanded edition. This is the one who has the collaboration with Tom Petty. Look at those photos. This is not an official unboxing, but it's because it has the booklet and everything. But I wanted to show you a little bit about this release. Also, the Wild Heart. This is the album that broke records for the songs Stand Back. Also, my very favorite. It's called If Anyone Falls. It's a beautiful package, and it has live tracks. It has outtakes. It has everything. Every Stevie Nicks fan should be more than happy. My favorite album by Fleetwood Mac before Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks joined the band is Mystery to Me. This is the one, that it caught my attention the best from their previous albums before Rumors and the self-titled Fleetwood Mac album. Okay, so let's see what else. Okay, I found the Other Boys of the Beehive album that I had already. This one, you remember that album, Let It Be, that I showed you already? This was the one that, I had previously in my collection. Okay, the Todd Rundgren box set. is this my second official box set of Todd, because this is a box of Todd. This is a previously released live material box set with a very interesting lineup of songs. I got this about 3 years ago, so this is my second Todd Rundgren box set. Okay. I wanted also to show you some of the album artwork from the pins that I have in my bag. The Motels Little Robbers looks like this as a complete album cover. This one is called, has Remember the Nights. Also, the other pin that I have is Missing Persons Spring Session M. Dale Bozio looks great in that album cover. Also, I wanted to show you, we talked about a little bit of Todd Rundgren. I had the chance to experience the Utopia reunion tour, and I did the meet and greet with him, so I have the autographs by Willie Wilcox, Kasim Sultan, of course, Todd Rundgren. This is my favorite Utopia, the 80s Utopia is called POV. Another honorable mention that I want to say is about the B-52s. This is the album that I got into their music. It's called Wami. This is the first pressing of the album that has the controversial song, cover up about Yoko Ono, from Yoko, I'm sorry, Kate Pearson, and Cindy, and of course the lead singer of the band, Fred, autographed my album. Also, this is the second album, Wild Planet. It was also signed by them, so I wanted to show that a little bit because I'm so proud of these possessions. It's so exciting. This is a Rocky Horror Picture Show. You saw a pin in my bag. This is the original cast. This is not from the movie. It's the original play that they did before it became a movie, so it's very exciting to see all of the cast as they were originally. And you can see that even then they had a wild time doing the play, so the movie became a big hit on a midnight show, smash all over the world. Okay, I also wanted to talk about Cher. I have a picture disc. My only picture disc that I have in my possession is the Cher album, Take Me Home. Also, I have this 8-track that of Prisoner. They just got last night on Spin Me Round. They showed that they received the vinyl of this album. For you young kids who doesn't know what this is an 8-track. This is the way you played music back in the day. I have the picture disc of Cher somewhere right here, so I better find it. It's right here. I love this mess, don't you? Casablanca Records and Tapes released this album. It's called Take Me Home. Look how beautiful Cher looks in this album. It's a very sexy, photo of her in that album cover. I have the 45. The 45 I'm sorry, this got incense or something. I don't know. I'm not sure what's that. This is the 45 with the this song. It's a bonus track on the CD version of the Take Me Home CD that I have around here somewhere as well. So I'm very excited about all of these finds and all the things that I'm showing you right now, because I never get the chance to do something like this. Okay, here's that Arcadia album that I was telling you about, the Duran Duran side project. The Power Station was the album that made me show you this one. It's from my personal collection. Another Cher's related item is Black Rose. This is 1981. This is a rock and roll record that she did as an experimental album. The highlight of this album is this track called Young and Pretty. They say you can make it when you're young and pretty. They say. Okay, so let's say Bonnie Tyler. This is another album that I got at Spin Me Round store. I never had this album because of the overexposure of the smash hit Total Eclipse of the Heart. Look, very exciting and dark album cover. This was produced by Jim Steinman, a guy who was legendary and worked with Todd Rundgren and also Meatloaf. And it's a very exciting record. I just want to show you a VHS that I had for the longest time. This is a PAL VHS from Bonnie Tyler. This is a collection of videos. I didn't know this was PAL. I had to do the transferring to NTSC, and it has songs from this album as my favorite, the title track, Faster Than the Speed of Night. Also, of course, there's her smash hit, Total Eclipse of the Heart. Also, Here She Comes. It's a song from the Metropolis soundtrack. Also, is holding up for Hero from the Footloose soundtrack, and also Loving You is a dirty job, but somebody's got to do it. It's a duet, actually, with Todd Rundgren. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff. Other thing that I wanted to show you is this VHS from David Lee Roth. This was released when the Eat 'Em and Smile album was released as well. So this is a very interesting collection of music videos. Also, we talked about a little bit earlier about Julia Lennon. This was Stand By Me. This originally was a Showtime concert special, but MCA released this as a full-length home video. This was about the time that Valot, his first album, was released. I wanted to show that to you as well. MTV was a big part of my, influence in music. So Radio Shack released this video cassette back in the day. This is a rare item. This is videos by Missing Persons, The Motels, Naked Eyes, Stray Cats. It's a great list of music videos on this VHS tape from Realistic. VHS brand back in the day. In Radio Shack sold these. Okay, this is another interesting release related to MTV. I Want My MTV is a tape that has promos that they show in between videos, and there are a collection of them, most of them right here, including the Joe's Apartment short film that was a full-length comedy. By MTV Networks, by the MTV Networks. So I think we're pretty much covered everything. I also wanted, to end in a high note. This is the Bonnie Tyler duet with Todd Rundgren. This is a single from my personal collection. It's a Love Is Your Job, but someone has got to do it. This is the 12-inch. Also, this is the Metropolis soundtrack that has her version of Here She Comes. Let's open up this baby, so you can see the whole artwork. It was very impressive back in the day. Also, this is the Jim Steinman from my personal collection, produced by Todd Rundgren. This is an album that I definitely love, and I wanted to share with you guys that I have it in my collection, and I'm sure you have it as well. Okay, now I have a friend called Wayne that he's a very huge Bette Davis fan. I wanted to show through this video, because I know he's watching, some Bette Davis related items. This is a soundtrack from Dead Ringer. This is a horror film that she did back in the days, a black and white motion picture. It's very jazzy. It's very interesting. Also, this is the Miss Bette Davis album, songs recorded by her in the studio. It's a very interesting release. Look at how beautiful she is. She looks like she was when the era of All About Eve. And this is a 12-inch single about dance music by a group called Lunchbox. It's called Baby Jane. I think this is another rare item. I wanted to share that with you. Here's a scene of Baby Jane with Blanche Hudson. I am Baby Jane Hudson. Okay, so so much stuff, so much excitement. I'm glad I hope I covered everything. I worked very hard on this video. I just want to thank Spin Me Round Store for being the best record store ever. I found a lot of stuff that I really love, and I should be coming back. I traveled all the way from Puerto Rico just to visit that store. I just say to myself, I might do it again as soon as I have my first chance. So thank you for watching. Until next time, I hope I didn't bore you. Bye bye.